You are now listening to Tired and Triggered Podcast, produced by Guerrero Film Company.
Welcome back, besties. If you're still tired and you're still triggered, I'm assuming you're still here. So on this episode, we're unpacking how our trauma has not so good timing. Sometimes you'll be living your life in the trenches of motherhood, doing your thing, and then all of a sudden, bam, just things start resurfacing. But just know that just because it does come back around, and maybe sometimes it's even hitting you harder than it did before, you're not weak. You're just healed enough for certain things you're just healed enough for things to come back up to the surface. So let's unpack it. One thing I will say is that I always thought that you had to heal out loud. You know what I mean? Like, I really truly thought that if people weren't, like, being loud about it, that they were just avoiding it. And that's not the case. Like, because I'm personally going through it, I feel like I'm guilty for thinking that people are avoiding things or just not dealing with it head on. And really, that might not be the case at all. Maybe it's just their way of how they're healing. And who am I to judge on how somebody heals?
I feel like the most calming, for a lack of better words, way of healing is in silence, is by yourself, is in your own skin, in your own way, in your own body, because it's like, I feel like everybody has an input, and it kind of like, man, okay, am I not doing it right because I'm not doing this? Am I not doing it right because I'm not going through that milestone? But everybody's different. Everybody works different, you know?
And I feel like that, it's not my place to decide how somebody heals or how long it takes, because I recently found myself in a situation where I was like, I didn't even know that this hurt me. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I knew about it. Like, I knew what it was or the circumstances was. And it's not that I intentionally went my whole life, like, avoiding it, but I guess, like, I've never dealt with it. So, like, as I'm healing in different areas of my life, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not healed. You know what I mean?
We're very good as moms, because we're always trying to, put Band-Aids on everything, that we just put Band-Aids on ours and kind of like keep on, like, when, when the little edge comes off, you kind of put another one on and another one on and another one on and kind of put it under the rug, because the least thing you want to do is take time from your kids, your husband, your job, to take, well, at least, I feel like that. I don't want to take time for me when I can be using it with my kids. I can be using it with my husband. I can be using it towards my, all you have freaking 30, 40 businesses going at one time. So it's like, you have to, figure that out every single day. So it's like, I feel like you're good at doing, I think we as women are good at hiding everything until it kind of boils over, and then it's like all hell breaks loose. No.
Well, really and hard. So the thing of, what I'm noticing and what I'm learning is I always thought that, like I said, that it was like this, like, I'm the type of person, and you know me, you know my personality, I've always wanted to, like, deal with things head on. And then, so, like, if there's a confrontation or something going on that I don't like, it's kind of like I want to solve it in that moment. And when other people's timing might not be that, like, it might be like, well, I'm not ready to unload that, or I'm not ready to unpack that. I'm like, but why? Like,
you want to do it now. Yeah.
I wanted to get it out. I wanted, to resolve it. And I'm learning with age and different scenarios that I'm finding myself in and through my healing journey, that my timing is not everybody's timing, and that I've also had a really bad timing of healing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there's also things that I haven't faced. There's also things that I haven't confronted, and I feel like there's this stigma that you feel like if you are, I guess, strong, if you're healing in silence. But I feel like we kind of, and I say we as in, like, we kind of create those circumstances for people, because when you're constantly praised about how well you're handling something, or you're constantly praised about how, like, oh, I don't know how you do it, You have so much on your plate, and I feel like you build these expectations and you put these expectations on someone where you kind of feel like I'm the one that holds it all together. I'm the one that,
You're like the glue for everybody and everything.
and it's like when you're complimented on being strong, I feel like it hinders us in our healing journey because we have to be strong, you know? So that's something new that I'm learning that I'm kind of going through.
I always kept coming across like healing will be lonely.
Yeah.
Healing will be lonely, but it's okay. It's okay to be lonely for a little bit. You know, this is not going to be the rest of your life kind of thing.
It's important to know that you have people around you, but like I have done more healing in my own little lonely bubble than I probably have with people around me that I know that would listen or have my back. You know what I mean? Like, so you can definitely heal very quietly.
Yeah, and you can kind of weed out the people that are not really your friends, because if something's going on, I feel like that I can notice something going on with you, whether it be like you kind of
I wear my feelings on my sleeve, though.
Yeah, but like, or like me, you know, it's kind of like I kind of retract, but you're kind of, hey, are you okay? Just checking in, like, but that way you can kind of tell who is kind of there, who can kind of listen and kind of feel what's going on, because as a friend, it doesn't matter if you don't see each other for days, years, months. You can kind of feel it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
for
just,
sure.
It's important. You'll feel, or you'll see who your friends are, who's checking in on you in your healing eras. Just, it's hard to get there because you don't want to, again, you don't want to take that time for you, because as mamas, as sisters, as daughters, we don't ever want to take that time for ourselves. We just want to keep on trucking. But man, when the shit hits the roof, it's like there's no, I feel like the house is going to burn down.
Right.
Because there's like no stopping my emotions at that point. But it's like, what do, you know?
Well, and not only that, but like, don't confuse resilience with like invincibility. Because you can, like, everybody has that breaking point. Like, you can be resilient, you can fall down 7 times, get back up 8, you know, you can have that mindset, you can, like, you know, come back stronger every time, but somebody always, they have that breaking point to where it's just like, I can't
And here
take
I
it
wrote,
anymore.
like, make your strength visible. Make it known that you are stronger, you are better, you are a better version of yourself.
So that's what I'm going through now, is because of the fact that I feel like I have been more open than I've been going through things over the last couple weeks or months or, you know, whatever. I'm being more open about it now. In the moment, nobody knew about it. I was very silent in my healing journey with going through that. But, like, now that I feel like that I'm getting back where I need to be or where I was, I feel like I am being more loud about it. I am speaking about it. I am, you know, putting things out there. And I feel like, you know, it's kind of like wear it like a badge of honor, because of the fact that you do, there might be somebody that needs that, you know, that needs to hear that.
Yeah, takes that little push or those little encouraging words to see, like, hey, it did happen to me, but I'm okay.
Because people look at people and they think, like, oh, they've got it all together. Oh, look at her. She's got 4 kids. Look at how well she's handling that. Look at how well she's, I don't know how you do it, balancing 4 kids and businesses and all this, but it's like, yeah, I might have been doing it, but you didn't see the amount of times I fell apart while doing it, you know?
Yeah, people don't know what goes on behind closed doors,
Yeah.
whether it be good or whether it be bad. You know, it's just hard sometimes because, like, once that door opens, you have to be the resilient you, the happy you, the invincible you. And then when those doors close at night and the kids are asleep and your husband's asleep, it's like, then that's when everything kind of comes clawing down at you. And
You're at your, like, most vulnerable moment.
Because nobody needs you. Nobody's screaming mama. Nobody's screaming, you know, wife. Nobody's screaming aunt, uncle. You know, nobody's, and you're just really like, that's the only moment that I feel like I get to myself the whole day, and I'm like, whether
not
for
only
good
that,
or whether
but you're
for bad.
You're also not distracted. Like you're forced to be in your head. You're
like
forced to face things.
Yeah,
and
sometimes it's like a cold bucket of water falling on you. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, well then you can feel your emotions all at one time. Like again, whether it be good or bad, you know.
One thing that was kind of hard for me to grasp while going through some of these things lately is that when things resurface, I kind of like, I'm trying to give myself some grace. So there might be somebody that might need to hear this, but I feel like I've kind of discredited myself and my feelings and my trauma, because I'm like, why? are you so broken about it now? Why didn't this affect you then? Why is this just now? Like, you know, like, why is this resurfacing? Where are all these emotions coming from? But, you know, after speaking to, you know, my doctor and people who have been through certain circumstances and similar situations, it's just that you're in a safe enough spot to now feel it. You know, kind of like I said earlier, like when you heal certain parts of you, you're leaving space for old things to kind of bubble up. I feel like I discredited myself and my traumas due to the fact that I felt like it was not important because it didn't bother me then. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
a lot of people are so, I was just doing a little research just to have, you know, a couple things. But the doctors or psychologists say that as humans, that's our nature.
Yeah.
To kind of hide and bury the things that hurt us the most, the deepest.
Yeah.
And then they do resurface at some point, whether you be 10 years down the road or 70 years down the road. You can be in your deathbed and literally have like, man, that really fucked me up.
Right.
But it could be like, you know, but they said it was that any trauma, whether it be big, small, you know, it kind of paves the road of how you cope with things, how you treat other people, how your mental health goes. So that really, like, you can bury it as deep as you can bury it, but that paves the way of how you are, how you live your life, even unknowingly for yourself. And it's scary because some people really have really traumatic things, and those are the happiest people. Those are the people that help out the most. Those are the people that wear their heart on their sleeve because they don't want anybody else to hurt like they hurt.
And that's where that judgment kind of comes in, and it could be good or bad. Like, it could be good judgment, like, kind of like I said earlier, like you look at somebody and you're like, oh, wow, I would never know that that's your story. You carry yourself so well. You know, or the bad judgment. You think of like, wow, you went through those things and you're not even facing it. Like, and who are we? And I'm speaking to myself when it comes to this. Who are we to judge somebody's healing journey? Who are we to judge somebody's healing timeline? Because like I said, those are things you cannot plan or account for. Like, everybody's healing journey is different. And especially with moms, like, I don't have a pause button. We've kind of touched base on that in previous episodes. You know, we self-sabotage by isolating and things like that, but even if it's healing that we want to do. All right, y'all, let's take a quick break. This podcast is brought to you by Guerrero Film Co. I'm Jordan Guerrero, co-owner, as well as the owner of Jordan Guerrero Photography. If you have an event coming up, a wedding, milestone portraits that you need done, or even branding content for your business, go check out our socials and let's get you booked.
Hey, y'all, for all your concrete needs, Dry Stick Concrete is the way to go. Give us a call or text for a free quote, 985-969-8016.
I don't necessarily have the time for it. Like, I have 4 kids and, you know, they're needing me, and I have a husband to show up for, and I have clients to show up for, and I have sisters and sister-in-laws and friends to show up for. And it's like trying to navigate that. It's like, even if you're only healing one step at a time, your healing journeys, it still matters. Like, even if it's at the slowest pace possible, it still matters. As long as you're healing, who cares how long it takes?
And it takes years. I mean, as long as you know and you feel the difference, it's crazy. Because they were saying also, like, anything can trigger you to relive that, you know, a smell.
Like the slightest thing.
For people that have been through, like, domestic violence or child abuse. Like that, like even a slam of a door can kind of just bring you back to that moment. Yeah, which is it's horrible. Like, you know, what do you mean, like a smell, you know?
And to other people from the outside looking in, you might be like, oh, that's so dramatic. Okay, let's not exaggerate that. But like, who are you to, you know, you cannot belittle somebody's trauma in any way. Like, it might not be traumatic for you, or it might not make sense to you. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then you're blessed. Yeah. Like, that's a blessing. What a blessing it is to not understand somebody's trauma. That means that you have not ever been put in that situation.
Which is amazing. That's good.
Right. But awesome. Do not ever belittle somebody. And that goes for yourself, too. Because, you know, the version of you that survived your trauma, and what I mean by survived your trauma is the person that went through it, the person that buried it down, the person that didn't have the words at the time, whether they be a child, the safe space to talk about it, the support, the version of you that survived this trauma and survived it by doing things that you had to do to cope, to just move on, and the version of you that is now facing it and healing, they both deserve respect. Both versions of you do. And that's something that I'm literally teaching myself right now, because I feel like we are our own biggest critics. We talk about that quite a bit on here, but it's true. We are. And it's like we give everybody around us some grace, like we deserve to give ourselves that grace too.
We're our own worst enemy.
Yes.
We're the biggest, because we don't want to burden anybody. We don't want to take time from anybody. We don't want to bring our stress, our drama, our bad experiences onto anybody else, but that's our hardest thing. We need to learn how to
give ourselves grace.
Yes, give ourselves,
like I try to be like, if you came to me and you told me something and you're like, this is what I'm going through, or this is what I did, or this is how I handled this situation, and I didn't necessarily agree with it, I would find something positive to be like, don't worry about that, look at it like this, look at it like that. But I would never do that for myself. Ever.
You're like the worst. I'd
be like, how could I do that? Yeah, like it's just I'm not even preaching to y'all. This is therapeutic for me. Like these are things that I'm literally pep talking myself on the daily. Yeah. But the whole point of this is it might be for somebody that needs to hear it. Yeah. Like, the whole point of this podcast being tired and triggered is, I'm tired, I'm triggered, I'm going through motherhood, I'm on a healing journey, I'm dealing with my own traumas, I'm, all these things, trying to navigate life, and I just feel like this is my safe space to do it, and I hope it's somebody else's safe space too. Like when you're listening, I hope this is your safe space. But just know too that if you're breaking quietly or you're healing quietly, that you're not losing by doing it quietly or slowly. You carried it for so long, it's just not your time to carry it anymore. You carried it long enough. And now you're on the journey to facing it and healing and, moving on. So, it's never too late to heal.
Never. You have a lifetime to do that. You have a lifetime to be a better you, be a better version of you. And man, if you need to talk it out, if you need help, if you need, we're always here. I know it's like we talk to you through a camera, through a phone, through a computer. But, if y'all ever want to reach out, some people don't really have anybody.
Right.
They don't have friends, they don't have family, they don't have anything like that. Just reach out. We've always said it. Our DMs or messages or our phones are always open to anybody who needs it,
right.
Because we know how sad it is and how lonely it is to be lonely and sad and just feel like you don't have anybody, but we're always here. We are blessed enough to have each other, have our siblings and our husbands and stuff like that. And some people are not, but, we will be your virtual besties.
You don't have to be completely healed to be a good mom.
Oh, no.
Because I think that's something that's hard, too. It's so hard to pour love into somebody when you're still learning how to love yourself. But whether you're breaking generational traumas or, you're navigating your healing journey while trying to be a mom yourself, like, we are all doing the best that we can. And there's going to be times that I'll say you fuck up. Like, you're going to fuck up as a mom. You're going to fuck up as a parent. You're going to forget an important date. You're going to, we're not perfect. We're human. I think the biggest part of what to take from that is, one, give yourself grace like we had already discussed. But secondly, just be honest. I feel like these are conversations that I do have with my kids because there are times where, like, I am so sorry. Like, I was overstimulated. I flashed out. I shouldn't have handled it that way. I'm sorry I jumped down your throat or whatever the case may be. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, because I feel like that's a big thing. People feel like they don't owe their kids apologies. I am a strong believer that you absolutely do. Like, just because they're your child, you still deserve them. They still deserve your respect.
They're humans.
But
they
I
have
feel like,
feelings,
but I feel like these are conversations I'm having more, with my kids, as far as the fact of, and I've noticed, like, kids are resilient too. If you're honest with them and you admit to your faults and you admit that you messed up, or you admit whatever the case may be, like, they're going to respect you for that. So instead of just giving yourself a hard time about how, wow, I shouldn't have handled it, just handle it with them. Talk to them, apologize to them, and they love you,
Yeah, and there's always room to grow as a parent. You grow with your children.
Yeah.
What we have to go through with our kids, our parents never had to go through with us,
And then they're going to have their own kids one day and go through things that,
because when I was growing up, my parents didn't have to worry about the social media and the phones and the phone time and the screen time. We didn't have tablets. We barely had a flip phone. We barely, it makes me feel ancient, and it makes me feel like I was born in the freaking 18th billion BC before Christ era. But no, it was,
right.
I'm not ancient, but it feels like that because we've evolved so much.
It's just so different,
and we always have room to grow and to be better parents, better. But we need to be better as a human being, as a woman, as a mother, to evolve. But it just, you have to kind of roll with the punches, because sometimes, man, the just breathing takes the rug under your feet.
I know.
Like, God, dog. Like,
I know.
But just the biggest thing is giving yourself grace. And I know we preach about that, but man, we don't give ourselves grace at all.
I know, but like, this is our therapy. This is us taking accountability. This is us, we're being direct with you, and we're telling you the things that we're experiencing ourselves. And I'll be honest, like, I have been so vulnerable. Like, if you know me in real life, I'm not like just gonna tell you things that are going on in my life or my marriage or my motherhood journey or my healing journey. Like, that is not me. Like, this is
our little getaway there, like a little weekly session of kind of
unloading,
breathing and breathing fresh air a little bit. A little off a topic, but so we did have a Tired and Triggered launch party, little release party that Jordan got together for both of us. Mind you, Jordan is like the head honcho here. She's a little busybody. She likes to, and I just follow along, and I appreciate that. I'm very grateful for you. I've always told you that I'm very grateful for you. I'm not one to do all that. She wants to do this. She wants it. I'm right along with you, sister. I don't mind. I'm always there. But she's the organizer. She's the putter together, and I just right along. But we did have a little launch party here a couple weeks ago, and I was so pleased about everybody, like our vendors, and they were all said that they were listening to our podcast and how they were really relatable. They were really relatable. Everything that we spoke about was very relatable to them, and how they're like, hell yeah, like literally is what I go through. Like, I can't believe and that just makes everything worth it.
I feel like that's why I love doing this so much, is because not only is it therapeutic for me, but I do truly feel like when you're putting yourself out there, and not only is it helping us, but there is somebody. It might not be everybody. It might not be 100 people, 5. Like, I'm not doing it for the clout. Like, I'm honestly doing this for me, and I'm happy to have you alongside of me doing it. But I just know somebody might need to hear this.
It just means the world to us,
and that's all that matters.
To us, the messages we've gotten, I've gotten several DMs and stuff, and you always tell me how people
we've gotten some really good feedback, and we appreciate the feedback, and we appreciate the support. And the launch party was everything I could have dreamed of and more. It was a lot of work pulling it off and putting it together, but I was really happy with the people who did show up. That's all that matters. The people who did show up
to me. I had several people that I never in my life. I know they watch the podcast and stuff, but I never knew that.
That's the thing.
It is a weekend, and it's time to take out of their schedule, their busy schedule, their work schedule.
But it's the people that you think that would show up don't, and the people that you least expect do.
Yeah. And it just shows you who is there and who is not. And I'm very grateful for everybody that did show up and whoever couldn't.
And it was a
couldn't,
fun
but,
time. I enjoyed myself. I appreciate all the vendors that came.
Yeah, to mingle with everybody.
Yes.
Kind of get out of the house and have a little away time from the husbands and the kids.
And we plan on, the plan is, it's not going to be like a monthly thing, but we do plan on doing more like sip and mingle events, because I feel like that's the whole point of this, is building a community, right? So I feel like even just breaking away for an hour or two, getting out, having some girl time, leaving the kids at home and just being able to have adult relatable conversation in a safe space doing it, because I won't lie, like I don't have a shit ton of friends. Like I don't have a bunch of friends that I call up and like, hey, you want to go to lunch or whatever. Yeah. So I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for people to meet new faces, see recognizable faces, enjoy themselves and have some time. So we were talking about doing a Christmas party. Probably won't be able to swing that because Christmas is right around the corner. Yeah. We've been literally nonstop between life and kids and holidays and everything else. But maybe after the new year, maybe we can put together a little sip and mingle event. So stay tuned for details on that. And thank you guys. We love you. And till next week.
Bye, guys.